Islam, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakatham to my brothers, Yahweh Shema Alathan, by Shem Yahweh Shah to my sisters. Today is Tuesday night brotherhood class, and tonight in this brotherhood class we're going to talk about one of the greatest brothers to ever do it, and that would be Moses. And when we go into the scriptures, a lot of times we think about we think about all the things that have happened, with King David, King Solomon, Christ, all the prophets. But, if it had not been for Moses, being a brother, all this that we know now, probably would not have happened. But the Most High put everything together, had everything moving the way he wanted it to move, so that we could have a brother like Moses. And once we get into this story, into these scriptures tonight, once we get into it, you'll understand why Moses is he's a key factor in brotherhood. If you pay attention to Moses and what he did and how he moved, you'll find out how to be a brother. With that, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the book of John, chapter 5, verse 39. That's where we're going to start, because in order to understand Moses, we need to go to Christ first. Christ is the epitome of what Moses wanted us to do. He came and kept the law. He came and put the law into action. He showed you how to be a brother. He showed our sisters what it's supposed to do, what it's to be a sister or a daughter of Zion. That's what Christ did. So in order to find out about Moses, let's go and see what Christ said before we even get started with Moses, because Christ is the central figure. So let's see what Christ said about Moses, about Mashah in the Hebrew. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 5, and we're going to start with verse 39. It says, "Search the scriptures, for in them ye think ye have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me." We're going to stop right there, and we're going to break this down a little bit at a time. It says, search the scriptures. All right. Who came out with the first portion of the scriptures? That would be Moses. Moses gave you the first 5 books of the Bible, the Torah. What we read on Sabbath service. That's what Moses gave us. It says right here, search the scriptures. So when you searching them scriptures and you start from the beginning, you're gonna run into Moses. You're gonna run into him. It also goes on to say, "For in them ye think ye have eternal life." So in these scriptures, somewhere in these scriptures, there is eternal life. Someone just call in?
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. Yes, it's Antifa.
How you doing, sis? You have some miles going by Shem Yahshua? You Tawad?
Thank you. I am Tawad.
All right. You know the routine. Put your phone on mute and we'll get right with you. Who we got here?
Yeah, I know.
Brother of Christ, sir. Trooper Mawasar. Sir, check it in.
Trooper Mawasar. Most High Christ. We're going to give you we're going to clap it up for this man right here, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Got to clap it up for this one right here. Been waiting on this a long time right here. This young man got his Hebrew name this weekend. He's no longer that dude from the past. He is Mawasar, which means discipline. And when you have the opportunity to meet this brother, you'll see why he got his name. You Tawab over there, Truth Mawasar?
I'm Tawab, sir. You Tawab?
Hey, man, I'm Tawab. I'm here, but can I get you to do something for me? I need you to go to Book of John, chapter 5, and we're going to start over with verse 39, because we just got into it. John chapter 5, verse 39. And this scripture is so heavy because when we look at the scripture, the Bible tells you automatically that Christ is in the volume of the book. Right. So knowing that Christ is in the volume of the book, you have to start somewhere to understand who Christ is. And to understand who Christ is, you got to know who Moses is. To understand who Moses is, you need to know who Christ is. They both work one and the same. Anybody else just call in?
Salaki, sir. Young man Charles calling in.
Young man Charles, you Tawab?
I'm Tawab, sir. Tawab, how about yourself?
I'm Tawab, man. I can't make no fair, you know what I'm talking about? I'm just glad I made it here to the school to teach this lesson, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you how busy Satan is out here for y'all that's, online and in the class. Satan's so busy that he'll try to keep a priest and a prophet from getting to the school by dropping the sky out the sky. You know what I'm saying? He brought all the water down. And then on top of that, it was a couple of accidents on the way here trying to slow a priest and a prophet up from getting here. But by the grace of the Most High in Christ, we here and we having this class. Ain't nothing gonna stop this truth from getting moved. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important that we find out about this brotherhood and what it is to be a brother. Trooper Mama, sorry, you got what I'm looking for?
Kind of Wakan.
Let me get it.
John 5:39. Search the scriptures.
Stop right there. It says search the scriptures. So in order to know what's going on here, you got to search the scripture. Whatever it is going on in life, whether it's, trying to find out history, trying to find out about brotherhood, which is tonight, or you trying to find out about the law, which is tomorrow night, or you just need some scriptures broke down, which is Thursday night. You come right here to these scriptures. And then what you don't know, you ask those men that are above you to help you out and give you the answer. Keep reading.
For in them ye think ye have eternal life.
In these scriptures, it talks about how to achieve eternal life. So Christ is saying with these scriptures, you think you got eternal life. You think you know how to get it. You think you can get there with these scriptures. But it's some stuff you got to do in order to get that eternal life. It ain't just reading these scriptures and trying to do something. You have to do some work. Keep going.
And they are they which testify of me.
Hold on for a minute right there. Christ said those that read these scriptures, they going to testify of him. Why? Because Christ is in the volume of the book. From Genesis to Revelation, including the Apocrypha, Christ is spoken of. Every word is of Christ when you're looking at this Bible. Every word. There's nothing in here that's not of Christ. It's all of Christ. It's all leading to his return. Keep going into the next verse.
Anawakan. Verse 40. And ye will not come to me that ye might have life.
And this is so heavy because we got brothers and sisters in the world. They won't go and ask a priest and prophet, a true priest and prophet, you know what I'm saying, what it is to live and how it is to live according to these scriptures. They won't seek out Christ. They won't do that. They'll rather do something else. It's going to tell you what they'll rather do, but they would rather do something else than go and seek out Christ. Keep reading.
And you will not come to me that ye might have life.
Say that again.
I receive not.
Go back.
And
you will not come to me.
And ye will not. And ye will not come to me.
That ye might what?
That ye might. And ye will not come to me.
What's that next part?
That ye might have life.
That ye may have life. The only way you're going to get life is going through Christ. That's the only way. But in order to believe Christ, you got to know what these scriptures talking about. And in order to know what these scriptures talking about, you got to get under the priests and the prophets so that you can learn. And the priests and prophets are only in one place. Only in one place. Not in your Christian church. Not in the fake Israelite groups. Nowhere. Not in the Catholic Church. Nowhere. The priests and prophets of the Most High are right here in the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General Yahanna.
Right.
You're not going to find anybody more qualified to teach these scriptures than we are here at this I.S.U.P.K.
That's right.
We are Bible scholars. We are Israelite scholars trying to bring you into this truth of knowledge of knowing that you are Jacob's children. Keep going.
I receive not honor from men.
Christ said he don't receive honor from men. He really don't care what you say. He don't care what you think. He really doesn't care. He don't receive honor from men. So whatever praise you want to put on Christ, he don't care about it. He gets his honor from somewhere else. You should be getting your honor from where Christ is getting his honor from. But because we in this world, we've been taught one thing, not to worry about our honor from the Most High. We got to be honored by our oppressor. Everything we do it for our oppressor. There's nobody in the world more important than the oppressor in the eyes of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're so hell bent on trying to impress the oppressor, trying to get honor from him that the honor that he gives you is called the death penalty. He give you, and it's not the one that goes through the court system. It's the one that does, what's his name? George Floyd, put a knee on your neck. Death sentence. You know what I'm talking about? Trayvon Martin. You know what I'm saying? Death sentence. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they do. That's how they get down. They are naturally wanting to murder you. But we, us, Israel, you know what I'm saying, those of us not in this truth, we love that oppressor. We seek his honor. We want his trophy instead of getting what the Most High have for us. Keep going, Trooper Mawasa.
Khan. Verse 42. But I know you, that ye have not the love of God in you.
It say, but I know you. See, Christ was an austere man, meaning he wasn't one of them men that, you know, provoked you to, you know, feeling some type of way. He was one of them men that stood up firm and strong on what he was saying. And, you know, because he allowed black man, you gonna feel some kind of way. Because you know how we get down. Us black men, us Judites, we might say something a little greasy to you, make you feel some kind of way. This right here says, but I know you, that you have not the love of the Most High in you. Christ telling you, I know you don't love the Most High. Because if you did, you would love me. But we already know how this story ends with Christ, you know what I'm saying? We know the Pharisees and Sadducees set our king up to be killed. You know what I'm saying? We seen that. Someone say Salakia? But we seen these Pharisees and Sadducees, you know what I'm saying? We read about that, and we still see them today. They do the same thing. They kill Christ daily. These Christian pastors, these Christian leaders, our so-called blackety-black leaders. Right. You know what I'm saying? They kill Christ daily. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. One way they kill Christ daily, they'll go to the restaurant and order the biggest pork chop they can find. That's one way. You know what I'm saying? You might say that's simple, but still, you killing Christ. Christ died so that you don't have to keep eating the trash. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to keep going in the trash can, but that's what we choose because we want our honor from another nation. And it says, but I know you that you have not the love of God in you. Keep going.
Khan. 43. I am come in my Father's name.
Stop right there. Christ said he came in his Father's name. Now, it's important that we realize it because we talking about Moses. Moses had a job to do. And when Moses did his job, he didn't do it in his name. He did it because the Most High told him to do it. Not because anything Moses wanted to do. Moses was trying to make every excuse to get out of it. We're going to get into it. But at the same time, Christ did the same. He does what the will of the Most High is. And that's to what? Wake up his people. Bring his people into the truth. He said, I am come in my Father's name. The Most High's name. So everything that Christ is doing, he's doing it because the Most High told him to do it with the power and the authority. Keep reading in that verse.
And you received me not.
And you received me not. Now, that's crazy. The Most High's name is Yahweh. Christ's name is Yahweh Shai. And he was prophesied to come and save his people, but you didn't believe him. And we still don't believe him. He came in the name of the Most High and shared the name of the Most High. Come on now. And we still, as a people, refuse to follow the man that's, that came in the name of the Most High. Keep reading, Mawasa.
If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive.
Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, Louis Farrakhan, Fareed Muhammad, what's the boy with the Pan-African guy? Marcus Garvey. All these guys came in their name. You very rarely heard them say anything about a Most High power, if at all. Even the preacher, Martin Luther King, never even mentioned in his great speeches the Most High power of Israel. He never did that. He never did that. His whole goal was to integrate you and assimilate you with the oppressor. And they all did it in their own name. How do we know this? Because when you go downtown Atlanta, you're going to see a place called the King Center. After a while, you're going to see a place called the Farrakhan Center. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because our people hold true to values and give honor to men. That's it. We don't think about the Most High. Keep reading.
How can ye believe which receive honor of one another?
Hold on. How can you believe when you get honor from each other? Like, if I'm looking to my brother and I'm looking for him to give me some honor and he looking for me to give some honor, we don't believe in nothing. We don't have, because we don't have no power to make any change. Not individually, because the Most High is our power. So if we doing individual things, the Most High ain't with that. But if we moving as a nation, then you'll see when we go to talking about Moses what happened. Keep reading.
And seek not the honor that cometh from God only.
See, we'll rather take that trophy, you know what I'm saying, from man, but we won't take the inheritance from the Most High. Let's say it. We'll watch, like tonight. Tonight is game 6. I think it's game 6 of the NBA Finals. These black men and some heathen nations out here playing for a trophy that a Edomite is going to hand them. So they're looking for honor from a man instead of looking for the honor from the Most High. Why wouldn't you want what the Most High had for you? It's greater than the championship trophy of whatever sport you're playing or whatever job you're doing. It's way, the reward that the Most High has for you doing his work is way greater than anything that the earth has to offer you. Keep going, Mabasa.
I don't con. Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father.
Christ said, don't think he's going to accuse you to the Father. Remember now, Christ did not write the book. He did not write the first 5 books of the Bible. Christ didn't do it. Keep reading. If any tell you who.
I don't con. There is one that accuseth you. Even Moses.
Even who? Hold on.
Trust.
Even who?
Even Moses.
Even who? Say that again. Say that one more time.
I don't con. Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuseth you, even Moses, in whom ye trust.
So if you follow Christ, you have to deal with Moses. Christ said in this verse right here, you're going to have to deal with Moses because Moses wrote the law. Moses is the one that gave you the law from Mount Sinai, from the Most High. Moses did that. All the laws, statutes, and commandments, and the judgments that go along with it, they came from Moses. So it's not Christ that you got to deal with. It's the laws of Moses that were handed down from the Most High himself. That's what you have to deal with. And once you realize that, you'll look at these scriptures a whole nother way because the Most High ain't playing with you, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man. Everybody want to say, I'm going to put it on Christ. I'm going to put it on Christ. I'm leaning and depending on Christ. Okay. Christ said, it ain't me, it's Moses. So if you're not doing what Moses said, you are already slipping. Keep reading. Keep reading, true Moses.
I don't con. 46. For who had ye believed Moses?
Wait a minute. Say it right. Read it right. Start over.
Lakia. For had ye believed Moses.
Keep going.
Ye would have believed me.
You would have believed me. What's the last part?
For he wrote of me.
Moses wrote of Christ. The laws that we see in the first 5 books of Moses, what we call the Torah, are of Christ. They're talking about Christ and how he's going to rule. It tells you it tells you that you're not supposed to vote another nation over you for a king because you got a king. His name Christ, Yahweh in the Hebrew. So why even go there? Last verse, and we're gonna go down to Exodus. Give me this last verse, verse 47.
I don't con. But if ye believe not his writings, how shall ye believe my word?
How you gonna believe Christ if you don't believe Moses? That's basically what he's saying. How you gonna believe Christ? If Moses told you thou shalt not steal, how you gonna believe Christ when he say thou shalt not steal and you ain't even paid Moses no attention? Right. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The Christians in the church like to tell you all the time the laws are done away with. If the laws are done away with, why did Christ say that in the book of John chapter 5? Why did he just say if you don't believe Moses, you don't believe me? Why? I need somebody to answer that for me. Please tell me why. Because I need to know. Inquiring minds need to know. So for you Christians, that's your homework assignment because we know you're watching. Try to find out a way to get out around that. Because Christ said if you don't believe Moses, there's no way you can believe me. So with that, let's go talk about Moses. Let's find out about Moses. Hold on, True Mama. Give me young man Charles. Can you read for me right now?
Sir.
Hey, let me get Exodus chapter 2, verse 1 Trooper Mawasar, I want you to get Exodus chapter 1, verse 15, and I'll tell you when to read it. Trooper Mawasar. Young man Charles, start with verse 1 in chapter 2. Exodus chapter 2, verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And there went a man of the house of Levi.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Now, we talking about now remember now we were just talking about Moses, how Christ was talking about you. If you don't believe Moses, you don't believe me. So we're gonna start from Moses being born. We're gonna find out who his daddy is. So it just say what this first verse just said. Read that again.
Verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took to wife a daughter of Levi.
All right, now this ain't the law class, but you know what I'm saying? This Levite brother and this Levite sister, they kept the law. It could have been easily, because these folks in the land of Egypt, they could have easily went and gotten one of them Egyptians. They could have easily did that, but they were keeping some semblance of the law that wasn't handed down yet. They were already ahead of the game, but based on Adam and Eve and what Adam and Eve went through. Adam got a wife out of his nation. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother class for a whole nother day. So they're following that tradition of Adam and Eve. So this Levite man got him a Levite wife. Go ahead. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months.
All right, so when this little baby, this bouncing baby boy was born, his mama was a little worried. She had to hide him for 3 months. She had him tucked away. You know what I'm saying? Because it was something going on. The reason why she had to tuck him away. You know what I'm saying? So hold what you got, young man Charles. Trooper Mawasar, go to Exodus chapter 1 and read verse 15.
Exodus 1 and 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah.
Uh-huh.
And the name of...
Keep going.
And the name of the other, Puah.
Verse 16.
Verse 16. And he said, will ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools? If it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
Wait a minute, then you shall what?
If it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
Go ahead.
But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Hold your finger right there, because we're going to go into verse 17. That's important, because we just read in chapter 2, in verse 2, that she hid, the Levite woman hid the baby for 3 months. Because Pharaoh was trying to kill the baby boys. Don't that sound familiar? That sounds real familiar to me. Because every time I turn on TV, the little baby boys getting killed by the oppressor. Every day. If I don't see it on the news, I read about it in the newspaper or some periodical that comes out, and it tells you the stats on black crime, white on white crime, all the different crime stats, and it even have a statistic about police crime against certain communities. And guess who's leading? That would be you, Israelites. You lead in all categories. Everything across the board, you lead in it. You lead in it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And Exodus 2, on that verse, when they used the word, saw that it was a goodly child. What is the meaning of that good?
Oh, well, if we don't know something, what we do, we open up that Google machine and we type it in the Google machine, right? And get a definition. So I'm not going to tell you off my head. We're going to go and find out together. So, young man Charles, hold your finger, go in your Google machine, and let me get the definition of goodly. Let's get the definition of goodly. Because that's a good question. That's a good... Young man Devon? Young man Devon? That's who I was talking to just then? All right, I know your voice. I just want to make sure. That was a good question you asked. Because you want to know what that means. Why did it say goodly child? Why did it just say a child? I feel you on that. That word goodly, when you look... Okay, look at the base word. It says good. It says good. And then you add the ly on there, it makes it something else. but it's basically saying good to start off. That's what it says. So we're gonna find out what this goodly means, because it's something behind it, because it's there. You got that, young man Charles?
Kind, sir.
Let me get that definition.
From the goodly from the definition.com. It says a good or substantial size. 2 says a good or fine appearance.
A good or fine appearance. Keep going.
And three says of a good quality.
All right.
Goodly gift.
The Salakia. The goodly in this, you got to use the context. It would be in the looks of how this man look. You know how this little baby look. You look at that little cute little baby, and then you got some of the folks say, "Oh Lord, that yes, it is something." They'll tell you that about them baby now. Either the baby look good or it don't. So the scripture give me a description that the baby was a cute little baby boy, a little handsome young man, debonair little fellow. You know what I'm saying? But let's go on and read verse 17 in Exodus 1. Go ahead there, Trooper Mausa.
Khan. But the midwives feared God.
They fear who?
Feared God.
Stop right there. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. I just wanted to put that out there to you. So they were smart about that. They're like, God don't want to kill any babies, so we just gonna not do that right there. Keep reading there, Mausa.
Khan. And did not as the king of Egypt commanded them.
Oh no, they weren't finna do that. They feared God. If you fear the man that can kill you and your soul, you know what I'm saying? You are wise. You're very wise. And those midwives were wise in that moment because they didn't kill this baby. They didn't kill the baby. They didn't do it at all. They didn't do it at all. And then it say, but save the man. What is it? It says in verse 17, the midwives feared God and did not, as the king of Egypt commanded them, but save the men and children alive. I got you. It say, but save the men and children alive. So the midwives, they were already on the Most High's business. They was on his business because they already in something in them that say the Most High will hurt me if I hurt these babies. So I ain't doing that. I'm gonna make this happen. We're gonna let these babies live, and that's what happened. Drop that Trooper Mama saw. We had to give you a backdrop on why she had to hide that baby. Go into verse 3 in the chapter 2 there, young man Charles.
Sir, the book of Exodus, chapter 2 and verse 3. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of brushes, bulrushes and daubed, and it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river's brink.
All right, now when you go on and read the rest of this, you know what I'm saying, these next couple of verses, it's going to tell you that, they finna shoot the baby on up the river. So we finna skip down to, what is this? We're gonna, hold on for a second. We're gonna skip down to verse 10. Now when you read this, you're like, Moses goes, you know what I'm saying, they send him up the river, Pharaoh's daughter catch him up, you know what I'm saying, up the river, upstream, you know what I'm saying. But before that, his sister, Moses' sister, was sitting back like, damn, what's gonna happen with my little brother? She, and that's any child. They're gonna think about what happened to their sibling, you know what I'm saying? But the Most High know what's going on. He know the business. He know what he's doing. Read verse 10 there, young man Charles.
Sir, the book of Exodus chapter 2 and verse 10. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses. And she said, because I drew him out of the water.
All right, so Moses got his name from the daughter of Pharaoh. That's the first thing we need to know. He got his name from the daughter of Pharaoh. Now we finna skip down. Now we finna get into the good parts of it. We finna dive right on in it. Young man Charles, I want you to read for me. Skip down to verse. Let's go. Yeah, let's continue on. Verse 11. Continue with verse 11. Let's go right there.
Sir. Verse 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown unto his brethren, and looked on their burdens.
Stop for a second. Stop for a second. Stop for a second. Hold on. Hold on. It said Moses was grown that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens. Meaning, you know what I'm saying? He got a little power, you know what I'm saying? A little money, you know what I'm saying? A little fortune, a little change in their pocket. And he said, man, let me go out here and check on my folks. You know what I'm saying? I've been living in the Pharaoh house for so long. I need to go ahead and check on these Hebrew kids. Because for him to say, for this to be said, he had to know that the Israelites that were in the land of Egypt were his family. Because, you know, he was taken in by Pharaoh, the house of Pharaoh. But evidently, they had to tell him that he was, you know, an Israelite. He had to, you know, eventually came out. When you see yourself acting different than the people that you're around every day, you're gonna question it. You're gonna question it. You know, we know that the Egyptians, they had a certain way of doing things, and the Israelites had their way of doing things. And Moses, being an Israelite, he did the things the Israelites did. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it automatically in him to just say, I'm finna go out and check on my brothers and see what's going on. Keep reading.
Khan. And he looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren.
So he seen the Egyptian, you know what I'm saying, you know, laying hands. Smiting means, you know what I'm saying, you put hands on somebody, you're beating them, or you trying to kill them. Them the two definitions. It's either a beating coming or a killing is coming. So Moses see this. Moses see this right here. He saw it. He saw it. Verse 12 will tell you what happened. This the brotherhood. This the first part of brotherhood that we're going to talk about. What Moses did right here. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 12. And he looked this way and that way.
Wait a minute. He did what?
And when
hold on. He did what?
And he looked this way and that way.
All right, so he looking around. He looked to the left. He looked to the right. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't slide and crick crawl. He ain't do none of that. Let me clap your hand. He ain't do none of that because he finna get ready to do something. He getting ready to do something. You know, you get directions like that, you know what I'm saying? Here in the South, they ready to party. They waiting on the beat to drop. But what Moses did right there, he wasn't waiting on no beat to drop. He looking around. He on the lookout. I'm going to look this way and see what's going on. I'm going to look this way and see what's going on. Cause I just seen this Egyptian putting his hands on my folk. He felt some kind of way about that. So he had to check, he had to see if the coast was clear. Keep reading.
Khan. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian.
He did what to the Egyptian?
He slew the Egyptian.
He killed the Egyptian. He slew the Egyptian. The Egyptian, like, he's sitting there beating this Hebrew kid, this Hebrew boy. You know what I'm saying? It had to be a little black man. You know the war. You know it was a little black man. He was beating him, about to kill him. You know what I'm saying? Probably was on the brink of death. And Moses sat there and seen it and said, man, nah, we ain't going out like that. And he laid hand to this Egyptian and did what? He slew him. What's that net part?
And hid him in the sand.
And hid him in the sand. So he, you know, that's some Negro stuff right there. You gonna do your dirt, and you gonna go hide the evidence. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's what he did. We don't know how to do nothing illegal, black man, Hispanic, and Native American man, because we're gonna tell on ourselves. We're gonna tell on ourselves because that's not in our nature to do wicked. We were taught to do wicked by our oppressors. Through many oppressions, we were taught this. Through many captivities, we were taught to be wicked. So innately, if you don't know how to be wicked, you ain't gonna do it, right? So he hid the body. So let's keep going. But before we go any further, that's brotherhood, though. How is that brotherhood? Somebody tell me how that's brotherhood. Somebody tell me how that brotherhood. Don't make me call your name now. I got some people in here. Don't make me call your name now. I don't want to call your name. Somebody just tell me how is that brotherhood? How is that brotherhood that what Moses did to that Egyptian? Go ahead, Michael.
Is he were protecting his brother, sir?
Damn right. He was looking out for his brother. He didn't want nothing to happen to his brother. Could he have done it another way and not killed the Egyptian? Probably, possibly could have, but The scripture said he took his life. So it had to have been extreme what that man was doing. That's real brother. That's real brotherhood. You see something happening to your brother and you can do something about it. You need to do something about it. But we're not telling you to kill nobody. We ain't telling you to go out there and jump in front of the bullet or nothing like that. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. We got a power for that. But in some circumstances, you as a brother are the only line of defense for a brother when he comes into certain situations. Because us in the truth, we are here to put our lives on the line for those that don't want to hear the truth. Now, ain't that something? We out here putting our lives on the line for people that don't want to hear the truth. But we're speaking the truth so that they may live. But I would die for any one of my brothers out here in this world. Why? Because that's what the Most High sent Christ to do. That's why Moses came with these laws, so he can show us some brotherhood. Let's drop right there for a second. Let's drop right there and go down to verse. Go to verse 13. We'll read verse 13. We might as well read verse 13 because it's very important. Go ahead, young man Charles, verse 13. Very important that we read it because, hold on before you read it. It's very important that we read it and know what's going on because if we don't understand how deep this brotherhood is and how deep it goes, we'll never learn how to be a brother and know how deep to go with the brotherhood. We have to understand why things are the way they are, why they're set the way they are in this brotherhood class. Because the Most High wants you to know how to be a brother. Like I said before, we're not telling you to go kill nobody. But at the same time, stand up for your brother. Go ahead.
Sir, the book of Exodus, chapter 2 and verse 13. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together.
Uh-huh.
And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? So
Moses asking, that's another brotherhood, that's another brotherly act that he's doing. He's keeping 2 brothers from going at it. Why is that brotherly? Why is it brotherly to keep 2 of your brothers from going at each other's throat? Why is that brotherly? Somebody tell me. Everybody don't talk at once. Go ahead.
It's brotherly because you shouldn't want to harm your own brethren.
There you go. Why would you want to harm your brother? It say, do unto others as you have them do unto you. You don't want nobody beating on you. So why would you beat on your brother? That doesn't make sense. You don't want nobody sleeping with your rib. So why would you sleep with your brother rib? You know what I'm saying? Love the Most High with all your heart, all your mind. All right. And then the next part say, love your brother as your what? Self. That's what Christ said. Those are the 2, all the commandments hinge on those 2 things. The love of the Most High and doing what he said do, and loving your brother and making sure he's straight. Those are the 2 things that the laws hang on. But in this world, we see it every day, you know what I'm saying, as, we come into the truth. We see our brothers fighting each other. It make us fighting with each other. It makes us feel a certain type of way because we know that's not the right way to do it. That's not the right way to handle something. If you got a beef with your brother, talk to him. Talk that thing out. See what's going on, why he did what he did, what made him do what he did. But to try to fight your brother and not even talk to him first, that's unbrotherly. Keep going in the scriptures.
Sir. Verse 14. And he said, who may be a prince and a judge over us?
Hold on for a minute. Ain't that some Negro stuff right there? You know what I want to say, but that's some Negro stuff right there. Who told you? You my judge? You my executioner? What black folks say today? Somebody tell me what they say today. Along that same lines. When a black man trying to correct another black man, what do that the one that's getting the correction? What do they say?
Yes, sir.
Go. Trooper Officer, go ahead.
You can't judge me.
Why?
Only God can judge me.
That's what I was looking for right there. Only God can judge me. That's some Negro stuff today. We say that today. Only God can judge me. You heard the Christians say that. You can't judge me. You can't. Okay. But you'd rather hear it from me. You'd rather hear correction from me than to actually have the Most High to judge you. Remember, the Most High has the power to kill your body and to kill your soul and put you in the damnation of hellfire, brimstone, all that, the lake of fire, which coming here to America soon. You know what I'm saying? Get your popcorn ready. Coming soon. We don't know the date. I don't know the time, but coming soon. Get your popcorn ready. So you can and watch the destruction of these people. Because it is what it is. Brotherhood is what Moses did in that situation. He stopped his brothers, but his brothers came at him sideways. You know what I'm saying? Just like some Negroes would today. They're going to question everything that you try to do, even though you was trying to spare them from going to jail. Because somebody going to call the police, or spare them from going to the hospital, because somebody going to pull out the knife or the pistol or something like that. It always goes bad for us when we're doing the wrong thing, because we're not meant to do wickedness. Keep going.
Khan. Verse 14, intendest thou to kill me, as thou killedest the Egyptian?
Wait a minute now. So now, like I was telling you earlier, wickedness ain't on us to do. We're not to be unrighteous. That's not in our pedigree. We ain't that type of. So doing wrong, you know, it gets exposed. You know what I'm saying? Drug dealers go to jail because somebody told on them. Murderers go to jail because somebody told on them. I'm talking about in the black community now. I ain't talking about everywhere else. I'm just talking about in our community. Everybody gets snitched out. You know what I'm saying? So it's because we don't know how to do wickedness. We don't know how to get away with it because that's not in us. You know what I'm saying? So this man asked Moses, you know what I'm saying, who are you? Didn't we just see you? You know, we heard about you, my boy. We heard you, you know what I'm saying, killed the Egyptian. We know about what's going on. We know what's going on with you. So keep reading. Let's find out what Moses did.
Khan. And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known.
So Moses looking at the whole thing like, man, I might have messed up. You know, I needed, what have I done? Everybody talking about it now. You know how we get? You know how us Negroes get, us blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? You know how we get? Oh, man, everybody know now. They finna put my business all out there in the street. Oh, man, they been talk bad about me, did that and third. Oh, man, let's find out what Moses did. What he did. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 15. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought out to slay Moses.
He did what?
When Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought out to slay Moses.
Now look at this right here. Moses escaped death twice. His mama sent him up the river, and Pharaoh's daughter caught him. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, took care of him as her own. You know, he was raised in the house of Pharaoh. Now it's saying, you know, Pharaoh want to kill him. You know what I'm saying? So when he was a baby, Pharaoh gave the order. You know what? We're gonna kill the male child of the Hebrews. Now he done went and did this wicked act, and now Pharaoh is at his throat again. We need to kill Moses. He did too much. Keep reading.
Khan. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh.
He did what?
He fled from the face of Pharaoh.
Uh-huh.
And dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well.
All right, so he left the whole scene. And, you know, when you know about this story of Moses and what happened, you know what I'm saying? Moses, when he fled, I'm gonna tell you, and we're gonna jump around. I'm gonna give you a brief synopsis of what just happened, what's happening next in this scripture. Moses flees Pharaoh's face, and he goes into the land of Midian, and he goes to the well. He meets these ladies that they happen to be the daughter of what's his name, Jethro, and he helped them with, you know, he helped them, you know, with getting water, you know what I'm saying, and taking water and getting the water back to, you know, to their land, to their home, you know what I'm saying. So we're going to go to that and find out what's the next part of brotherhood. So go to Exodus chapter 3, and let's go to verse 1. Because in order to know Moses, you need to know the things that he went through in order to get to where we know him to be as the one that led us across that Red Sea. Go ahead if you got it.
Khan.
Uh-huh.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert, and came to the mount of God, even to Horeb.
All All right. Now, hold on before you go any further. Moses became a he became a herdsman. He started dealing with the animals, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, remember now he was in the house of Pharaoh. He just killed the Egyptian and hid the body in the sand, you know what I'm saying? That's some real Negro stuff, you know what I want to say. And he fled because the word got back to Pharaoh. Pharaoh wanted to kill him. You know, again, you know, kill a Hebrew again. The same, what is the slogan for today? Make America great again? The slogan back then was kill a Hebrew again. Because they tried to kill Moses 2 times. Remember, they tried to kill him when he was a baby. Couldn't do it. And now they tried to kill him after this. But something happened where he left. He got away. He said, I got to go. Now he's at the backside of the mountain. And we're going to find out what happened on the backside of the mountain. Because we need to know about this brotherhood of Moses. Because if Moses had not stood firm and stood tall, you know what I'm saying, and did what he did, and led the children of Israel out of bondage, and you know what I'm saying, and took us into the wilderness where Joshua led us into the promised land. If Moses didn't have no part of that, man, we'll be in a bad way right now. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep reading. Verse 2. Let's find out what happened.
Verse 2. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush.
Uh-huh.
And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
All right, now, anybody know a Negro, when you see something that's spectacular like that, you're going to be in amazement. First off, you're going to be in amazement like, what in the world? Is that real? You're going to be in amazement. Find out what happened next. Let's go and see what happened next. Because Moses seeing this now. Look, think about it. Just picture it in your mind. You see a bush burning, but the bush ain't on fire. It ain't you're not seeing ashes fall to the ground or nothing like that. It's not being destroyed. It's not being consumed. It's just lit up, on fire, lit up. That would, you know, it would kind of shake you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? If you're a real person, if you're a human being, that would shake you because you know that's not natural. It's not of earth for something to be burning like that but not be consumed by the fire. Keep reading.
Verse 3. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see the great sight, why the bush is not burnt.
See, Moses got curious here like, man, I need to see what's going on with it right here. That's some real Negro stuff right there. You know what I want to say? That Negro stuff, curious, you know what I'm saying? That's why when you watch a horror movie, we make the worst characters because it's just not natural. You know, it's not natural. The whole scene of us in a horror movie is not natural. But here, you see what's going on. Moses said, I'm going to turn around and see. I got to turn around. I need to see what's going on. Read that next verse.
Verse 4. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see God, he called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, here I am.
Keep going.
Verse 5. And he said, draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place wherein thou standest is holy ground.
So the Most High just told Moses, Negro, what is you doing? You better not turn around and take your shoes off. The ground you walking on is holy. Come on now. There go you see this bush on fire. You see this bush on fire, and as it's on fire, you're like, man, I need to turn around and see it. Then you hear in the fire like, don't do it. Nigga, don't do it, Negro. You better not do it. And then you can see Moses just stopping like, I ain't gonna do that. Cause the bush talking to me now. Now the bush talking. I'm not doing that. What did the Most High say? He said, draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. So wherever the Most High is, that's holy ground. You can't go in there any kind of way. You can't come in trying to do what you want to do. It is holy ground. Just like when you come into this school, you need to treat it like holy ground. When you're around the generals, the captains, and the officers around you, above you, you need to treat that like holy ground. Because it's not every day people get to meet a priest and a prophet of the Most High. That's not every day. Even though we on YouTube, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and whatever other social media outlet there is, we own it. But you can't just reach out and touch us like that if you wanted to. You have to be in that area where we are to see us, let alone to put your hands on us. So think about what the Most High is doing right here. He's telling Moses, look, you need to get yourself together. This is holy ground. Keep reading, young man Charles. Because this right here, what Moses does next in this sequence is another form of brotherhood. Keep going.
Sir. Verse 6. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's start right there. Moses hid his face. Now, why is that brotherly? Why would that be a brotherly thing to do? First off, it's called following orders. Because when you go back earlier, you know, the Most High told, he said, draw not hither. He's telling you, don't come close. Don't even look this way. Don't do it. Don't do that. And don't do it. It ain't worth your life. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. That's what he's saying. He's saying don't do it. So after he done got the instructions, he just followed the order. He followed the order from the Most High. How is that brotherly? Because that teaches you how to follow an order from the Most High. The Most High said don't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. That's the order. So if Moses followed orders, you should be able to follow orders too.
Right.
It's just that simple. It is just that simple. Verse we're gonna go on down verse 11, same chapter. Cause before you get to it, verse 11, chapter 3, verse 11. When you read on in this particular section of the Bible of Exodus chapter 3, when you read on, you'll find out Moses well, let me say it this way. He's being told some information from the Most High. Most High saying, man, basically, look, I hear my folk down there in Egypt. I hear what they going through. I'm finna show you something. I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to take my people up out of there. That's what's going on right here in this sequence. We're finna go to verse 11 and get into detail on it, because Moses is the brother of our brothers. I couldn't have stood right there with the Most High. I would have been the Negro to look. I would have looked, and he had to start the process over. Good thing I was born in 2021. You know what I mean? I got my Hebrew name a couple of years ago. I became an officer in 2021. So I'm born now. I'm alive now. So when you say that, you ain't born in 2021 with all that white hair. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. And you could be born again too if you come in this truth.
That's right.
Give me that verse 11, chapter 3, verse 11. Come on, young man, Charles.
Book of Exodus chapter 3, verse 11. And Moses said unto God, who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?
Stop right there. How's that brotherhood? True, Marco Lott, you still on the phone?
Sir.
How is that verse right there, verse 11? How is that brotherhood? I'm going to read it to you. It say, and Moses said unto the Most High, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? How is that brotherhood? What makes that brotherly, that verse?
It's like you say, is it because, you know, Moses don't see himself no better than his brother. So
Give that man a hand. Give that man a hand. It's called being humble and showing humility. Moses already knows, he knows, as soon as the Most High told him that, you know what I'm saying, I need you to go and get them Negroes. You know that ain't what I want to say, but, you know, go get them Negroes. I need you to go get them. Pharaoh doing too much. I want to bust him across the head to the white meat. That's what I want to do right now. But I need my folks up out of there before I can do anything. Moses like, man, me? Oh, man. That's brotherly. Showing that humility. Being able to be humble before the Most High and say, am I really worthy? Because that's basically what he's saying. Am I really worthy for this task? But if the Most High come to you and tell you to do something, evidently you can do it. That's why you in the truth now. That's why you young man, you came into the truth. You said, man, I hear Commander General Yahanna. I hear the captains. I hear the officers. I hear them. That's Christ speaking to you. Christ says his sheep hear his voice. Moses heard the voice of the Most High and got humble real quick. He was really humble, really humble. That's the spirit we have to have. That's that brotherhood. That's brotherly to be humble, because ain't none of us in here amount to anything. We all filthy rags. All of us. All of us. Every single one of us are filthy rags. Our righteousness ain't nothing. But according to what the Most High was trying to do, Moses fit the bill. He was the one that could do this job. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Verse 12.
Verse 12. And he said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token upon thee that I have sent thee, when thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt. Ye shall serve the Most High upon this mountain.
Upon this mountain. So the Most High is still giving out orders. That's an order. He said, ye shall serve the Most High upon this mountain. You know, that's an order. So we know that on into the future of Exodus, once you get on into it, we know that the Most High, you know what I'm saying, had the Passover and all that. We know that the children of Israel, you know what I'm saying, you know, they left and went into we know all that. We know they went to Mount Sinai. So we know that Moses completed the order. That's brotherly. To take the order, do the order, every part of the order. We're going to go into this order of what he did and what the Most High required of him to do, because all of it is brotherhood. If Moses had told the Most High, man, I ain't with it, and looked at the fire and just wasted away right there, you know what I'm saying? We'll still be in Egypt today. We'll be Egyptians. We call ourselves Americans. We'll be Egyptians. But because Moses showed brotherhood, we're Israelites who are in captivity in America, who go by American or African American or Mexican American or whatever kind of American you is. You're not a white boy.
Right.
Your daddy named Jacob. Your king named Yahanna. So you really don't have any excuse. If you hear my voice, you have no excuse. You have no excuse but to understand that Moses is the one that showed us how to be a brother first. Keep going in that scripture, because we got to get to it. We got a ways to go. Keep going in it.
Verse 13. And Moses said unto the Most High, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them,
keep going.
And shall say unto them, the Most High of your fathers have sent me unto you.
Hold on a minute.
They shall
Hold on a minute. Hold on. It say that the Most High of your fathers, the power of your fathers, the God of your fathers. He's saying, the Most High saying, look, I'm the one that told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know what I'm saying, that their descendancy, their bloodline, their children, yes, their children, they're going to be the ones to, you know, enter into the kingdom of heaven. Now we look at this what I'm finna say right now. It might blow your mind or it might go over your head. I hope it blow your mind and not go over your head. Christ said the kingdom of heaven, he's bringing the kingdom of heaven, right? And we're to build the kingdom of heaven before he get here. We're supposed to prepare that thing. We're supposed to get prepared for it, right? Because he's bringing Jerusalem with him. So how is anybody on earth living in heaven when heaven is only promised to the children of Israel? Think about that. How can anybody else on earth be in heaven when heaven is promised to the children of Israel? Think about it. The European Caucasian oppressor is not in heaven. It looked like heaven to you because you were at the bottom, black man. We at the bottom. It looked like it, but it ain't, because think about it. How could his heaven be, you know, polluting the earth? That ain't heaven. How can heaven be, you know what I'm saying, raping the whole nation of their goods? Not just raping the nation of their goods from the land, but actually raping their women too. How about, you know, how is it a kingdom of heaven when, you know what I'm saying, people are getting thrown off the side of the boat? You know what I'm saying? How is it the kingdom of heaven when Jerusalem was sacked in 70 AD? How is that? How is earth the kingdom of heaven for any nation when heaven is only subscribed to and given to who? The Israelites. Yeah, they live in a form of heaven, but according to the Most High, it will not be in any comparison to what Christ is going to bring back with him. The heaven we will have is the greatest heaven you will ever get. You will ever see. Why? Because it's of the Most High. That's what Moses was sought out. That's why he was sought out by the Most High to do this work. To bring the children of Israel out of Egypt so they can do something. Learn the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High so they can be a light unto the world. So the world can know this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to live like this and we will be okay. But because we choose to eat that pig, you know, Pastor Poach out there. Because we choose to do all that, you know what I'm saying? We don't have no brotherhood with Moses. Moses did a whole lot for us to sit back and eat a pig every day. Think about that. Keep reading that, young man, Charles.
And they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them?
Uh-huh.
Verse 14. And the Most High said unto Moses, I am that I am.
Hold on, he said, I am that I am. That sounds like something a Negro would say. That ain't what I want to say. Y'all know what I want to say. But that's something a Negro would say. I am that I am. Don't question who I am. It's like you going to your daddy. Dad, what you talking about? Man, I am your daddy. Don't go ahead questioning me. What's wrong with you? That's what the Most High just said. I am who I am that I am. It don't matter what my name is. You just do what I say. And watch what happens. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, us, we always questioning everything. Negroes, anyway, we question everything. It could be blue. The sky could be clear and blue and everything. Is it going to rain? You don't see none cloud in the sky. Come on, man. Be for real. You don't have to question everything. You ain't got to question the Most High and what he's trying to do for you. Why would you do that? So that's an order that the Most High gave Moses. Moses, you know, was told to, you know, he was told to do that, you know, to tell him, look, it's me. It's me. But, you know, it's all good. So we got to find out about Moses, though, because Moses did some amazing stuff, but he didn't believe in himself. But there was somebody that believed in him, you know what I'm saying? That's the Most High. The Most High knowed he could do it. So, young man Charles, we're going to give you a break for a second. Truth from our side, pick him up at chapter 4. Exodus chapter 4, Truth from our side. Exodus chapter 4, and we're going to start with verse 1.
That's what God.
Go ahead.
And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice.
Uh-huh.
For they will say, the Lord hath not appeared unto thee.
All right, so Moses, you know what I'm saying? Moses questioning. He's still questioning the Most High. He said, man, I ain't going to believe nothing I'm talking about. So watch what the Most High tell Moses to do. And before you go into it, this is why Moses had brotherhood, because the Most High knows that Moses can do this job. But Moses is so humble and he has so much humility that he's sitting here thinking like, man, this is a grave task that you want me to do, and I know I don't want to mess it up. That's why he's questioning him like that. That's why he's like, man, you sure? You sure you want me to do this? They ain't gonna believe me. Verse 2. What verse 2 say? Because the Most High got a way of making folk believe you. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto him, what is that in thine hand? And he said, a rod.
If you're looking at the YouTube feed right now or the Facebook feed, I'm pointing at one of these staffs over here. It say I.S.U.P.K right here and one on my other side over here. You know what I'm saying? This is a rod. He had one of these in the hand. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And he said, cast it on the ground.
Throw it on the ground. Keep going.
And he cast it on the ground. And it became a serpent.
It became a what?
A serpent.
Now the rod, we see this rod in the class now. You see the rod right here. You see this rod right here. Imagine Moses taking this staff and just throwing it on the ground, and it turned into a serpent. You know, it'll be hard not to believe that the Most High didn't send it. You know what I'm saying? So keep reading. But because you know, black folk, we got issues. Native Americans, Hispanic, we got issues. It's hard for us to believe something that God told you that. Why he ain't come and tell me? Really? Keep reading.
And Moses fled from before it. Verse 4.
Keep going.
And the Lord said, and the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thine hand, and take it by the tail.
So he told Moses to grab that. He's following orders. Grab that tail of that serpent, and what's the next part of that?
And take it by the tail.
Uh-huh.
And he put forth his hand and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand.
So when he grabbed that tail and he caught the serpent, it became a rod again. It became its normal thing, what it was. That staff, that stick, it became that again. It came that again. So Moses in it, Moses is like, okay, go to verse 5.
That they may believe that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee.
Now, let me show you how smart the Most High is. Read verse 6, because verse 6 is going to tell you they still ain't going to believe you. So listen what the Most High said in verse 6. Because he already know us. He know blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He know us. He created us. He know how we get down. He know how we think. Let's go to verse 6. See what happens.
And the Lord said, furthermore, unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
Now, this is what the Most High is telling Moses to do when he get around the people. He's showing him right now what to do. He said he put a hand in the shirt, inside the cloak, whatever he had on, he put it inside of it. It came back out, and it was leprous. Meaning, leprosy is, you lose your skin pigmentation. All that gone. You know what I'm saying? This is a disease. And his hand went leprous white is what his hand went. What the next part say? Read on to the next part. Verse 7.
And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again.
Put it back in your bosom again. Go ahead.
And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Meaning, it didn't look like this no more. It looked the same. It wasn't, how, you got the leprous white skin. He pulled his hand out. It was leprous. He put it back in and pulled it out again. It was back normal. This is what the Most High is telling Moses to do to our people. To show them, like, look, do this right here, show them this right here, so they'll know that it's me. Because you can't do this. You can't make your hand turn white by yourself. You can't do that. Unless you paint your hand, but even when you put it back in your cloak, it's not going to come out the same color as the rest of your skin. It's not. It's still going to have that paint residue on there. But Most High being who he is, he got the power to, take your color out your skin and give it right back to you. That's scary. That's scary. But Moses was so much of a brother, he sat there and took all that just for you, so that you can get these laws, statutes, and commandments. You see what I'm saying? So listen, we're gonna drop right there, because we talking about Moses. We're gonna drop right there, and we finna get into the meat of this thing. Because I like to hear about, bring it back wet. That's what I like. So if y'all don't want to bring it back wet, you might be in the wrong place, because the Most High about that warfare. Somebody get me Exodus chapter. Let's see. Hold on. Give me a second. All right, let's go to verse 7. Chapter 7, and we're going to start with verse 8. Now, remember, we just read about, how Moses took that staff, throwed it on the ground, that rod, throw it on the ground, it became a serpent. We just read how, the hand turned white, and back black again. We just read all that. Now we're going to see why it happened, why Moses had to do those things. It had to be proven to Moses first. Why? Because of what's going to be read in verse 7 and chapter 8, verse 7. Salakia, chapter 7, verse 8. Go ahead and read, young man, Salakia, Trooper Mawasar.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, shew a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent.
Why is this important? Why is it important that you know that we just read now? Remember now, we just read how Moses was by himself, and the Most High told him to do it so he can see what was going to happen. Why is it important right now that Moses do it in front of Pharaoh? Why is that important? Somebody tell me. Somebody help me out. Why is that important? And what's the brotherhood behind it? Why is it important, and what's the brotherhood behind it? Go ahead. Anybody. Don't make me call your name. Just think about it. We've been talking about it all night. What's the class? First off, what's the class? The class is a brotherhood class about Moses. Why is it important that Moses turned his rod into a serpent in front of Pharaoh? Why is that important?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Is it because the Most High want the people to see that he with Moses and not Pharaoh, sir?
Hey, Michael, I'm gonna have to tell you to start answering questions, because you once again you hit the nail on the head. The Most High said that he's gonna show his power through Moses. He's gonna do that. He's gonna show Pharaoh his power through Moses by leading the children of Israel out of the house of bondage, which is Egypt. So in this scripture, it's what Moses is doing right here is a level of brotherhood. Why? You got that first part, but why? I almost gave it to you. Why is this brotherly though? What makes this brotherly? What makes it brotherly? Going to Pharaoh and doing what the Most High said do. Why is that a brotherhood? Why do you find brotherhood in that? Somebody, anybody, except for Makwalot. Somebody, just come on and tell me. You know, ain't no shame in being wrong. Ain't no shame in being wrong. I'm wrong a lot. I have to get some help myself. So just
Sir.
Come on with it.
Salaki.
Come on with it.
Is it because he's showing them to that he with his people?
Say it again.
Is it because I forgot the question. Is it because he's with his people?
All right, let me ask you the question again. Why is it brotherly that Moses went to Pharaoh and do this act with the rod? Why is that brotherly? What's the brotherhood in that?
Salaki, sir.
Salaki, I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Go ahead, True Mama. Let's see what you got. Why is it brotherly?
Is it because Moses was afraid, but he had what's the word I'm looking for? He showed that he has to take that order from the Most High for his people, no matter if he was so afraid or not.
You right, but that's not what I'm looking for. Why is this? I'm gonna go ahead and answer it for you. The reason it's brotherly is because the nation of Israel ain't standing up there in front of Moses, in front of Pharaoh. The whole house of Israel is not there. It's just Moses and Aaron. That's the brotherhood in it. You got a brother that's going to the man in charge to stand for you, and you don't have to stand for yourself. What did Christ do? Christ stood for you. He died for you, and you didn't have to die for yourself. But you kill yourself every day when you commit abominations against the Most High. So think about what Moses is doing in that sense. The brotherhood is you don't have to deal with Pharaoh. That's the brotherhood. Who wants to talk to the President of the United States? Seriously, who wants to go and have a conversation with the President of the United States? Anybody? I'll wait. Don't nobody want to talk to him. But somebody, when it comes down to it, somebody gonna have to, if that call comes, somebody gonna have to stand. And in this day, that would be Commander General Yahanna. And that time, it was Moses. Moses stood when we couldn't stand. All of us couldn't go in front of Moses and say this, that, and the third. It took Moses to do it. Why? Because he growed up in the house of Pharaoh, so he had a rapport with him. He could talk to him because he was there. You know what I'm saying? Even though he killed the Egyptian, he was still had enough favor amongst that man's daughter not to get knocked off. Because he could have easily killed Moses at any time, but he didn't, because the Most High is in charge of all of it. So think about it. Moses did what you couldn't do. You couldn't go in front of the leadership. Go ahead. We couldn't go in front of that leadership. Moses had to do it. Commander General Yahanna has to do it. Here in Atlanta, Captain Rastazaya has to do it for us. We can't go and stand up there like that. But we have someone that can. We have someone that can. Moses did it then. General Yahanna is doing it now. But it's all brotherhood when you stand up for those that have not a voice. The children of Israel in Egypt back then didn't have a voice. Moses had a voice because he was where? In the house of Pharaoh for a time. Let's keep going. Read that next verse.
Khan, verse 10. And Moses and Aaron went in unto the Pharaoh, and they did as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent.
So Aaron and Moses followed the orders of the Most High and go in front of, Pharaoh and do this thing. Because if you don't go and do this thing, you ain't showing brotherhood, because your people, I just seen the Most High telling Moses, and I just seen you kill the Egyptian about your brothers. So you can't be scared. I know you ain't scared, so just follow the order. Do everything I got for you to do, and we finna get your people up out of here. Let's keep going a little bit. Let's dig on. We finna flip the pages a little bit, because we got to get to it. Let's go to chapter 11. Go to chapter 11. Exodus chapter 11. Cause this is my favorite part of of the Bible right here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about Christians in the world. I ain't talking about 1 West I.S.U.P.K. I ain't talking about 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about Christians in the world. You know what I'm saying? They just celebrated Juneteenth, and they just celebrated what the other one is? July the 4th, 1776. The oppressor was free from his other oppressor, the British. They got free. But Negro, you was in the cotton field. You was in the tobacco field.
Right.
You were on the sugarcane plantation.
That's right.
You were in the rice plantation. Wherever there was, you were in South America, they had rubber trees. You were in the Amazon collecting rubber from rubber trees. That's what you were doing, during 1776. You were not free. But here is when you were free. We're going to get into it right now. If anybody had the opportunity to go, to the Passover, it was a glorious event. It was so glorious. Look, the Passover was months ago, and I'm still on the Passover. I'm still coming down from the Passover.
That's right.
Because it was so glorious to see your brothers and your sisters in their Hebrew garments, looking priestly and royal. You're eating that good lamb, seasoned with the bitter herbs, my mouth watering thinking about it. You got that good showbread, and then you got all the generals on deck. It was a beautiful sight, to learn your customs, your culture of what happened and why we celebrate this Passover. But we're going to get into it right now because it's brotherly. The whole thing about Passover is so much in brotherhood because you had to work together to come up out of this thing. So let's read about it. We in Exodus chapter 11, and we're going to start verse 1. Go ahead.
Khan. And the Lord said unto Moses, Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterwards he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether.
All right, so this is this is your Father in heaven telling Moses, look, I got one more plague for him, and this the what they say, the mother of all bombs. Back in the war here a couple of years ago, they had this thing called the mother of all bombs, where here is the Father sending the greatest plague of all time. In history, there is when you go into history and look at historical facts, there is nothing, you can even include the nuclear disaster of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. There is nothing more deadly than all the firstborn of a nation being killed in one night. Right. That's not just random. That's not random. That's well thought out. that nuclear bomb that they dropped, that America dropped in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, that's random. Random people got killed. What we finna read to you right now, it wasn't random. It was picked out and picked out for a purpose, because the Most High has purpose for what he does. You remember now, when we first read this, we started reading the Exodus, Pharaoh gave the order, kill all the male children. Remember that? Didn't he say that in the beginning of Exodus? He said, kill all the male children. Exodus 1 and 15. 1 and 15 through 17 talks about killing the male children of the Hebrews. In chapter 11, we finna get into why that was a big mistake, Pharaoh, trying to kill the Hebrew boys, because God remembers all. Remember that he sees all, hears all, and knows all. So if you want to try him, you know, you better, it's no win in it. No matter how you look at it, it's no win, first off, because he know everything. So if you want to try his children, it's like if you had children at home and somebody doing something to your children, you're going to get whatever you can get, and you're going to hurt the person that's doing something to your children. That's fact. That's fact. You ain't going to just let anybody. They go to the school teacher too. You know your child at school, but you send your child to school every day. Every day your child come home with a new bruise, but you know when that child left home, they ain't had no bruise on them. Right. And your child like, mama, you know, so-and-so is beating me, you know what I'm saying, because I'm asking questions in class. What? You finna go ham. You finna go put hands on my baby? No. You going ham, because that's your child. Right. That's what the Most High did to Egypt. He went ham. You know what I'm saying? Literally, he went ham on Hamites. You know, it is what it is. Right. You cannot one up the Most High. He has the power to do whatever the hell he want to do. And if he want to kill the firstborn of the Egyptians, that's what he's going to do. And we're going to get into it right now. Keep reading. Whoever was reading, keep reading.
Uh-huh. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold.
So Moses telling, you know, the people, they have seen the things that Moses have done through the power of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? From all the plagues, you know what I'm saying? For turning the water into blood, you know, the locusts, the frogs, everything that happened, you know what I'm saying? They seen it. So now they ain't even questioning none of it. Now Moses gave the order, look, I need you to get right. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and get your good little apparel. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and get the gold and the silver. Deck yourself out, you know what I'm saying? Put it on. We finna go. We got somewhere to be. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 3. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt.
Keep reading.
In the sight of Pharaoh's servants.
Keep reading.
And in the sight of the people.
So Moses already, you know what I'm saying, based on everything that he's done, you know, folks looking at him like, oh, that's my boy. That's my partner right there, Moses. Mashad, man. I seen it. I ain't see this one though, but I heard about it though. What you heard, man? What you heard? I heard he threw that rod on the ground, man.
Right.
And you know, it turned into like some kind of serpent, some type of snake creature, animal, something, and it ate up the other folk rods. And he got his rod back like it wasn't there. I heard about it. Man, I seen the water turn red in the blood. I seen it. Man, I seen all the locusts eat up everything. I seen the frogs come. I seen all that. They seeing this stuff. So now they done heard Moses, you know, speak these words of the Most High of all these things that's gonna happen to Egypt. So they like now at the end of it, they're like, man, I ain't got no reason to question it. Moses said this, we might well gonna do it because we've been seeing what he's been doing. So he don't need a question to keep reading.
Khan. And Moses said, Thus saith the Lord, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt.
Keep going.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die.
Stop right there. Moses got the message from the Most High, and the Most High told Moses, look, this is what you're going to do for your brothers and your sisters. Tell them to go out there and tell them to get good. You know what I'm saying? Get the jewels on, get the gold, the silver, get all that ornaments and all that. Get all that look good. I need you to come out of here looking good, because I'm finna do something terrible. And he said, what did he say he was going to do? At midnight, he was going to do what?
And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die.
Uh-huh.
From the firstborn of Pharaoh sitteth upon his throne.
The firstborn of Pharaoh, keep going.
Even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill.
The firstborn of the maidservant, keep going.
And all the firstborn of beasts.
So that's 3 different entities gonna be served with death in one night. Pharaoh's house, the maidservants, and the beast. Everything that had a firstborn that day, it was gone that night. Everything, the firstborn son, gone. First of everything, gone. Because the Most High is not playing. Keep reading. Keep reading.
And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore.
All right, so these folks, they, you know what I'm saying? The Most High is telling, this ain't happened yet. This is the Most High telling Moses what's about to happen. You see what I'm saying? This is Moses getting prepared to see what is about to happen. This is the Most High telling Moses, look, this, Salakia, this right here is about to happen. Everything that I'm telling you right now is about to happen. And Moses has no need to question it. Why? Because he just seen everything else that done happened. Keep going.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Now, it say a dog shall not move his tongue against nan Israelite. Ain't nothing, better not nobody say nothing about my children. That's the Most High. Now, when you want a brother that's able to take that order from the Most High, you'll want a brother to do that for you, right? Because you know, us in the world, when we were in the world, you know, when you was in the world out there, you know, you ain't want to take no order. You ain't want to do what nobody said. But hearing this truth, you don't mind taking an order. Moses just took the ultimate order and said, look, this is what's about to happen. This is what's about to happen. We finna go into, you know, what it is, killing season. We finna kill everything. Because when you see how Moses moved from the beginning of his life to now, you see he was about his brothers. His mama sent him up the river, and he was raised by Pharaoh. All that he know is Egyptian. But once he got grown and stepped out and understood that, man, these my folks over here, they going through so much hell and hot water, I got to do something. And in his frustration, he seen one of these people out here, you know what I'm saying, Egyptians, you know, beating his brother, trying to kill him. So he done went from that, you know, being pissed off about his brother getting beat and almost killed, you know what I'm saying, by an Egyptian, to actually seeing or getting ready to see the Egyptians pay the price for what they have done to the Israelites.
Right.
It takes a strong brother to do all that.
That's right.
If you're not mentally strong and together to do that type of battle with your enemy, and remind you, only person Moses killed was that only Egyptian. When Moses got those instructions from the Most High didn't tell him to go kill nothing else. He ain't telling him to do that. He told him to go say this to Pharaoh. Tell Pharaoh this is what's about to happen. No, you ain't got to do nothing but just tell Pharaoh. That's all he did was go out. He was a mouthpiece. Him and Aaron were mouthpieces. They ain't had to kill nothing. But we, in our carnal minded, us that, you know, our brothers and sisters still in the world, we are carnal minded to the point we want to kill everything. And we really don't have to, because we have a power that will. All we got to do is do what he says and lift our cries up to the Most High so he can hear us. But if we crying out to the oppressor, the Most High ain't paying us no attention. He ain't paying us no attention. So we just read about what the Most High said he was going to do. Let's go into Exodus. All right, we're finna skip all that. Because we know about the Passover. I just read to you what the Most High just told Moses. Moses to go, he went to Pharaoh like, look, man, last time you're gonna lose a lot. But I need somebody to go to Exodus chapter 32 because we don't have much time. We got about another half hour. So we ain't got much time. So I want to skip down to verse chapter 32. Because when you get down to chapter 32, a lot has transpired. And chapter 32 to me is very important for the simple fact we got to understand what Moses meant to the children of Israel and how important he was to the Most High. What did Moses bring down to the children of Israel from the Most High when he went to Mount Sinai? Anybody know? Somebody online tell me. Anybody?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Triple Gashawn.
Shalom. Yahbashim Yahushua.
Yahbashim. Tell me what you got.
I want to say he brought down the law.
He brought down the
Onto
law.
the law. Tablets.
He brought down the law on tablets that were written by the Most High Power himself. That's what he did. And that's what we're about to read about. Now, you say, well, how does that have to do with brotherhood? It has everything to do with brotherhood. Remember, you, sir, you, ma'am, you, Akim and Akwathion, you can't go and talk to the Most High. But Moses did. Now, Moses could have been unbrotherly and say, man, I ain't going up there and messing with that man no more. I just seen the fire I just seen the fire man in the bush and the bush didn't get burnt down. I ain't gonna. Moses could did all that. Right. Moses said, nah, I ain't no punk. I'm finna go on up here and holler at him one more time. But I ain't gonna look at it because I am scared, but I ain't no punk. I'm gonna go up here and get these laws, statutes, commandments. I need to talk to him because y'all are hard-headed too. But I need to go ahead and get these laws, statutes, and commandments so that you would know what to do as a nation. This is what we need. So we're going to get into it. Exodus chapter. But before we get into it, whoever is holding Exodus chapter 32, whoever holding it, just hold on to it for a minute. We need to go back in time because we skipped the scripture. And I got to get this one down now before we go there. I need somebody to go to Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3 and read it to me. Read it when you get it. Exodus 15 and 3. Go ahead.
I got a quick question, Adawan.
Go ahead.
Who was that had hit the rock for the people for the water to come out? For the people to have water to drink. Was that Moses?
Moses hit the rock, but he was told to what? Speak to the rock. But he hit the rock.
He was told to speak to the rock, but he hit the rock for the water or something like that to come out of it, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't brotherly at that time. That time he wasn't brotherly. Because he didn't follow he didn't follow directions of the Most High. The Most High told him, look, man, speak to the rock and it will happen. But Moses, you know what I'm saying? He is a Negro. We are hard-headed. We are stiff-necked people, even Moses. He didn't follow directions that time. He hit the rock instead of speaking to it. Go ahead.
My question is about that. Was that before he went up the mountain or afterward?
That's after.
After. Thank you. Water.
All right. Somebody got my Exodus 15 and 3? Go ahead.
All right, Exodus 15:3.
Go ahead.
The Lord is
Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name.
All right. The reason I had to pull that because we just read chapter 11, and when you go from 11 to 14, it tells you the whole aspect of what happened during that time period of Moses, telling Pharaoh, look, your child finna die if you don't let my folk go, but, the Most High gonna kill him anyway because you ain't gonna do right. So it is what it is. Your children finna die, and you still gonna let her go. That what happened. The Most High let Israel, leave Pharaoh's presence. Why? because the Most High is a man of war. Look, if somebody come to your house and kill your firstborn child, and you holding hostage one of his children, you still gonna hold on to you still gonna hold on hostage? You gonna still keep them boy hostages? I don't think you're gonna do that, because the Most High is about that life. Where you hear the folks in the street say, man, I'm about that life. Nah, you ain't about that life.
Right.
The Most High about that life. He killed the firstborn of every man in Egypt. Think about it now. Every man that had a son that was a firstborn son, he wouldn't hear no more. The next day he was gone. He was laying somewhere stinking. You know what I'm talking about? He would really. Now we already know Africans, they stink anyway.
Right.
Moses told Pharaoh, look, I'm finna do this right here to you. I'm finna do this to you right here, man. I'm gonna leave you stinking. Because the Most High said he gonna leave you stinking. He gonna leave your children stinking right there in the bed. He gonna leave your beef stinking in the field. Your maid servant, you know what I'm saying? I know she just had that, but that's her first baby boy. Just had him 2 days ago. He's another one bites the dust. That's how the Most High get down. So when folks say they about that life, no they ain't. Because the Most High about that life. Let me tell you how I know he about that life. He killed everybody except for 8 people. Think about that. He killed everybody except for 8 people. Who want to fight him? I don't.
Right.
I don't want to fight. Only people that's crazy enough to fight the Most High is your oppressor. Because they've been in the Space Force, not knowing that how you gonna beat something you can't see. I used to play baseball when I was younger, and the rule of thumb was you can't hit what you can't see. So if the fast ball coming down there fast enough and you swinging and it's a miss, you can't hit what you see.
Right.
So if the Most High got these chariots that could be over here in 1 second and then be over here in another second, and you got an airplane that running off fossil fuel that can only move on a gyroscope, come on, man. Come on, man. There's no win. There's no win. Go ahead, Trooper Azariah. I've been waiting on you.
Common cause, sir, most fine cross, really heavy points coming out. If I may, the points you're bringing out reminds me of, this oppressor. I'm talking about this oppressor. He think he could hit what he can't see, and he don't even know what's there, right? So he think, like Cuomo said, it wasn't the Most High who stopped the corona. It was him. It was his power, right? They bring out a vaccine, and they think that corona's over. You can take off your mask, and boom, now the Lord bring the monkeypox on them. You know what I'm saying? And those you get vaccine, those that get vaccinated still catching it, and it's still dying. You know what I mean? Oppresses the devil. The Bible speaks of. Salakia.
Hey, what you just said so heavy, Trooper Azariah. Hold on hold your feet for a second. Let me say this right here behind what Azariah just said. Azariah, what you just said is so heavy because if anybody know about this new thing called the monkeypox, you know what I'm saying? Who comes up with these names?
Right.
Who really? Hold on for a second. Hold on, I got you, Trooper Son. Who really comes up with these names? You got the monkeypox. Now it was funny back in the day. They had this thing called the swine flu. Right. I know y'all remember the swine flu. That was crazy. Now they done came out with the monkeypox. So in my mind, when I first heard it, I'm thinking about them little flying monkeys on the Wizard of Oz.
Right.
I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because I drank Lafroy. You know what I'm saying? Every other day. So I'm looking at the store. They said monkeypox. What the hell? The hell is a monkeypox?
Right.
What is that? Is this real? I heard of chicken pox.
Right.
So I'm used to that.
Right.
They talking about monkeypox, and then they showed a picture. I was like, oh no, this is crazy.
Right.
But that's what the Most High said he was gonna do. Go ahead, Trooper Kashan.
I don't want to come, sir. Salakia, if I may, I just want to piggyback off the question that you were asking.
Go ahead.
About the swine flu and the monkeypox. I mean, all those names. I mean, it wasn't nothing but the spirit. It couldn't have been nothing but the spirit of the Lord for these people to come up with that name. I think it's just more vengeance for them Confederate Edomite devils getting caught down there in Florida. Having sex with them monkeys, giving them monkeys herpes down there in Florida. I think they get back from them.
What? Did you just say the Edomites they were jugging the monkeys? You ain't just say they were jugging the monkey, man. Come on, man. Let's be for real now. You playing now. You really playing. You hold on now. They jugging the monkeys?
And give them STD, herpes.
Wait a minute, you telling me? Oh man, so you telling me right now I can go on my Google machine and put in monkeys with herpes and something's gonna pop up? This is unbelievable.
Right.
If he'll give a little baby herpes in the church by blowing it rod. He'll give a monkey herpes in the
God, now you just told me something, man. What the hell? What? They sleeping with the monkeys? Oh man, now. Okay. We gonna get back to, but we got to address that right there.
Yeah.
The animal kingdom has a gripe with the oppressor, just like the Native Americans, the Hispanics, and blacks of this diaspora they call slavery over here in America. The animal kingdom has a gripe too, because when you get raped by the oppressor, and you an animal, and you the monkey now. Think about the monkey. The monkey is looking at the oppressor like, I'm a monkey. Why? I'm a monkey. I might not can talk like Caesar, but I'm a monkey. This ain't right. You can see it in the monkey eye like, man, this ain't right, man. He might not can say a word. He probably can throw some sign language up, because it's the zoo animals they dealing with. They ain't gonna get a wild orangutan, cause a wild orangutan would have killed him. They only do things to people and things that they have already beat down to a pulp. They can't. That's why the oppressor got to pay, just like the Egyptians paid under the Most High Christ, with Moses leading that charge. Matter of fact, young man Devon, read that again to me, Exodus 15:3, cause what the hell? They sleeping with the monkeys? Man, come on, man. Go ahead.
Right.
It's true. I just hit the Google machine, sir. It's true. Yeah, it popped up.
Hey, I just want to say that right here to all oppressors around the world. If you listen to me, I only know 2 languages. That's Hebrew and English. So I'm gonna tell you like this in English. Y'all ain't shit. Salakia.
Right.
You done killed. You done rape, robbed, and murdered the Native Americans. You rape, rob. When I say Native Americans, I'm not just talking about Native Americans in America, right here where we are in the United States. I'm talking about Native Americans from the tip of North America all the way to the tip of South America. Native. Oppressor, you have came and wiped out 100 million native peoples. You also wiped out another 300 million of Negroes.
Right.
And you want me to sit here and say that y'all is some kind of special people? Y'all are special. You are specially sick, because you done killed off people. You done hold your peace. You have extincted whole sections of the animal kingdom. Certain animals you can't even find no more, because the white man done killed them all. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm from the country. Where I live is pine trees and bushes and more pine trees, and the pine trees stand 100 feet tall. Think I'm playing coming down there where I'm at. But anyway, it used to be bees everywhere. You could walk out your door and you'll hear bees zzz, everywhere. That's all day, every day. When I was younger, like 30 years ago, when I was a child, 30 some odd years ago, I was a child, you couldn't go outdoors with the bees for fear of being stung.
Right.
Now you walk outside, I see a bee, I have a full out conversation with the bee. Because it ain't but 1 or 2 of them. It ain't but 1 or 2, like, Mr. B, how you doing? Do you want me to drop you a little water over here? You want something? You want something special? He'll be like, zzz. I know what that means. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
I know exactly what it means, because he's sitting there missing his family, because this oppressor done put all kind of chemicals in the air, in the water, in the ground, and it has killed the bee population. And you ask yourself, where all this pollen coming from? Well, the pollen can't go and do what it's supposed to do because the bees ain't around to take it from one place to another.
Right.
The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
That's why, just like the Egyptians got killed, in ancient times under Moses' eye, under the eyes of General Yahanna, Commanding General Yahanna, America gonna burn.
That's right.
Because every day you hear us come out and break out these prophecies of what's gonna happen to Babylon, modern day Babylon, modern day Sodom. Matter of fact, we in the capital of Sodom right now. It's called Atlanta, Georgia.
That's right.
Good night. I walk out the door, man, of the school the other day. I ain't even get 50 feet from the school in my car. And I seen a flaming homosexual. I'm telling you, 50 feet ain't far.
Right.
50 feet ain't far. When you driving, it's not far at all. So just imagine all this stuff, this wickedness that this oppressor has put out there. That we need a Moses today, and we got him. His name, Commander General Yahanna. He's leading our people into a path of righteousness so that the Most High can come down here and do what? Lay waste to these bastards.
That's right.
Somebody get me Exodus chapter 32, because we got to get into this right here. Before we get into it, somebody read Exodus 15:3 for the monkeys. Exodus 15:3 for the monkeys. Go ahead.
That the Lord, Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
Uh-huh.
The Lord is his name.
The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. To all the people that are under the sound of my voice right now, just know this right here. The Most High is about his business. And his business is Israel. Now, we have read how he killed the Egyptians and he passed over the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? That's the Passover story. He passed over, you know what I'm saying, with the blood of the Lamb, he passed us over. But he didn't pass over the Egyptians. I'm waiting. I'm waiting on him to come on and do the same thing again here in America. So we're gonna get in this last portion right here, because we got to find out about this brotherhood that Moses had. Because it takes a special kind of brother to go stand up in front of the Most High. You got to be special. You got to be special to be able to go out there and take that what the Most High is bringing out.
That's right.
The Most High, and then think about it now. Remember earlier we had talked about it. I hate to keep bringing it up, but we talked about it. He was talking to Moses through a burning bush that wasn't consumed. So that's a scary thing in itself. And Moses got to go back and talk to him again. Let's see what happened. Let's go to Exodus chapter 32. This is our last couple of verses that we're going to get out of here. Exodus 32, we're going to go at verse 1. Let's go. Whoever got it, go ahead. Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall be before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him. Verse 2. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the gold earrings which are in the ears of your wives and your sons and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. Verse 3.
Keep going.
And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in the ears, and brought them unto Aaron.
All right, stop right there for a
Verse
second.
4.
Stop right there for a second. Now, what's going on in this particular scene, in this particular section, this particular portion of Exodus? What's going on is that the children of Israel, they wanted to be Egyptians again. Let me get the golden calf. We gotta make a golden calf. We out here, Moses and left us out here. You know how Negroes get. Right. Go to complaining, making out, man, this boy done left us out here. We ain't got nothing, man. We should have stayed out there where we were. And they done went and made a golden calf. All because they couldn't be patient. They couldn't be patient. Keep going.
Verse 4. And he received them at their hand and fashioned it with a grave tool. After he had made it a molten calf, and they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Verse 5.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Now these folks are now they don't. What did they do? They done took their jewels, their gold and all that, and erected and made a calf out of gold. Now that just show you how long Moses was up that mountain. You had enough time to get in your feelings about leaving Egypt to say, the hell with what Moses talking about. We finna build this calf and try to get back in Pharaoh good graces. You what the hell? Really? That's how we doing it now? Go down, skip down to verse 7, because the Most High had said something. The Most High, this how much the Most High love you, and this how much Moses loves you as well. Read verse 7.
On time, verse 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go get thee down for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. Verse 8.
Keep going.
They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee out the land of Egypt.
Stop right there. Now, anybody that know, if you seen a statue, okay, let's go a little further. Anybody been to New York City? Anybody?
Salaki, sir, I lived in New York.
Oh, you
I'm
lived in
Atlanta,
New
but I
York? Lord Jesus. Let me talk to you for a second. If you don't mind. In New York, they got this thing up there called the Merrill Lynch Bull. Am I correct?
Merrill Lynch Bull?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
All right.
That sound like that banking system, though,
Yeah.
with the golden cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merrill Lynch has a bull on their for their logo. And anybody you can go online. Anybody can go online and see the Merrill Lynch bull. They actually have a bull, a standing bull. It may be in Chicago, but they have erected a bull. But this bull that they made is made out of bronze. These folks made a golden calf. Your people made a golden calf because they say they want to be like Egypt. Now, in my mind, when I'm thinking about how people want to say, it's okay to do what the what America does because we here, man. Damn that. Since being in America, you seen Native Americans lose, you seen Negroes lose, you seen the Israelites lose, you seen the Gadites lose, you seen the Reubenites lose, you seen the modern day Haitians lose, you seen the Jamaicans lose, you seen everybody lose. So why would you want to join on to the folk that gave you the loss? Why not?
Salaki, sir,
Go ahead.
I just Googled that. I do remember seeing that. I have seen that before.
Yeah.
I just Googled it so I can remember it. Yeah, I've seen it before.
Now, when you see that bull, when you see that Merrill Lynch bull, just think about that Merrill Lynch bull being worshipped by black folks in New York. Just think about. I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but just think about black people worshiping that Merrill Lynch bull.
Right.
That's the same. That's the equivalent of what the children of Israel were doing with Aaron in the wilderness. They were worshiping a bull, and if you've seen the bull, the Merrill Lynch bull in New York or Chicago, wherever you may have seen it, when you see that bull don't move. It can't make a sound. It don't do nothing. It's a statue.
Right.
Now, go ahead, Trubazar, y'all.
Concert, the water, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to work Wall Street, and I used to see that bull all the time. And you know, when you see this, there's a little, and because you know these people worship women and gods and all that stuff. They got a little skinny little white girl facing down a bull as if she could do something. You know what I mean? That's another way to emasculate people, because you know they saying that little girl could. Anyway, so that's you know what oppresses the devil. The Bible speaks of. You know, it's lock you.
What you just said is heavy because we worship that bull still today. That golden calf, we worship that. We still worship that golden calf, whether you realize it or not. And you may not even recognize it until I tell you how you worship it. You worship it when you say you got to have that money over your brother.
Right.
Think about it. Ancient Egypt is what America is today. It's the hub of everything. All the money, all the knowledge, all the everything went through Egypt in the past, just like it does here today in America.
Right.
So if all the money and wealth was over there with the stinking people, with the smelly people, you know, those people that smell like feet. When you say you wanna worship their gods and this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? You basically telling the Most High, you know, what you got going on ain't real.
Right.
You know, when you in America and you say, man, I'm about this almighty dollar. I like the greenback. I want the one that folds. You're not about the Most High business.
Right.
Now, money is for defense. Correct. You're supposed to have a little bit out here to make sure you straight. But to sit here and worship and covet that cash flow like that, you're wrong. You're wrong. Let's skip down. This is our last verse. Last couple of verses. We're going to go down to verse 30. Because it takes a brother, same chapter, Exodus chapter 32, verse 30. It takes a strong brother to be able to correct you. You understand? And that's why it's valuable. This I.S.U.P.K. is valuable because we have the ability to be around brothers that are going to correct us when we in here messing up. That go for you too, sisters. If we see you out there in the street and we see you out there doing wrong, I'm going to come to you myself like, hey, sis, you do realize you represent, you know, the I.S.U.P.K, Most High in Christ under Commander General Yahanna. You do recognize that you represent us. You can't be out here doing any and everything. That's what Moses is about to get down and get on to the house of Israel about right now. Go ahead and read it, whoever has it.
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 32. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written.
Wait. We got that too fast. I need to start verse 30. Verse 30. 32 and 30.
Come on,
Uh-huh.
Verse 30. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, Ye have sinned, a great sin, and now I will go up unto the Lord. Peradventure, I shall make an astonishment
atonement,
for your sin.
An atonement.
Atonement.
All right, stop right there.
For your sin.
Stop right there. Moses said, I see what y'all done did. The Most High see what you done did. Look, I got to go ahead and holler at the King, the Father, the one that can kill all of us right now for us, on our behalf. Because he going to kill me too. So somebody need to go ahead and stand in the gap and say, look, please don't kill us. Keep reading.
Verse 31. And Moses returned unto the Lord and said, Oh, this people have sinned a great sin and have made them gods of gold.
Stop for a second.
Verse 30.
Stop for a second. Moses went up there and made a case he's beginning to make a case for Israel, and he's telling the Most High what they have done. Go ahead.
Verse 32. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written.
Oh my God, stop right there. If that ain't brotherhood, this is what we ending on tonight. If that ain't brotherhood, I don't know what it is. Moses just sat here and said, he said, yet now if thou wilt forgive their sin, meaning, if most, Abinah Yahweh, if you would, please, Baba Kashah. Baba Kashah, please, Salakia, forgive them for their sins. And then he goes on and saying, and if not, blot me. He said, blot me. If you ain't going to say they sin, if you ain't going to save them from their sin, if you can, take me out.
Right.
Don't take them out. Take me out.
Right.
That's what Moses said. You can't get no better brother than that.
That's right.
He would rather lose his place in the kingdom. He would rather lose his life that you may have yours. That sounds like somebody I know. His name Christ.
That's right.
Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew. Keep reading out that last part. It say, and if not, blot me. What it say?
Verse 32. Ye now, if thou wilt forgive their sins, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written. He
said, when you go into Revelation, we'll do this class another time. But when you go into the book of Revelation, it's the book of life. Now, Moses is telling the Most High, look, blot me out, but save them. That's brotherhood. Read verse 33 and we out of here.
Verse 33. And the Lord said unto Moses, whosoever hath sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book.
Verse 34.
Verse 34. Therefore now go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto thee. Behold, my angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I will visit their sin upon them.
He's because of what Moses did, saying blot me out instead of killing everybody. Just do me. Put the hit out on me. Don't do that to everybody. Do it to me. Right. The Most High seen the brotherhood in that. That's brotherhood to take all of the sins of your people and put it on your back and tell the Most High to take you instead of them. Give them another chance. Take me, it's my fault.
Right.
Take me. That's a brother. The last verse I'm going to read it and we're going to get out of here. Say, and the Lord played the people because they had made the calf which Aaron made. With that, don't be like the oppressor and don't be a brother to your brother. Don't do that. You need to be a brother to your brother. And the only way to be a brother to your brother is to do what Moses did. Stand up for your people. With that, Israel, we're going to say Yahanna, SHALAM, and we're going to turn the class over to Officer Natasha.
That's right. Shalom, Israel. These are the I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out in 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and the sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 through 21, and Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Ma'ashara, which means tenth in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of your increase, give to the Lord, give to the Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount that you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, it's the Feast of the Memorial, blowing of the trumpets, I believe it's on September 6th. On Monday, check with your camp leaders just to be sure. And reminder to any Akim or Akwafium to check the bulletin board just to be clear. Anybody that wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, men of Israel, Imajim. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Imajim Shabbat. Imajim Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shabbat. All right, since those sisters in the class, we got one on the phone. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim Barak. Yahweh Shema Alatah Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Y'all's Matah, hands down. Class dismissed.